The difference between a FIFO and a mining job. Welcome to Australian Mining for New Starters, and in today's video we are going to talk about the difference between people describing themselves as a FIFO worker versus getting a mining job. So to do this, we're going to come over to who gets to call themselves a miner, how to spot the fake, the blog that I wrote a little while ago, and we're going to come down to this section down here on who doesn't get to call themselves a miner. So these are the FIFO jobs that people do. And the big difference between a FIFO and a mining job is that the majority of the mining jobs, especially in the hard rock underground area of the industry where we're involved, they're all full-time jobs. So you get 20 days annual leave, 10 days sick leave, you get your super, all that stuff and all the benefits that you get from a full-time job. Where as with a lot of the fly in fly out jobs, or the people that describe themselves as FIFO jobs, they tend to be either shutdown jobs, which are maintenance jobs that are temporary jobs, civil construction jobs, which while they can be full-time jobs at the time, tend to only run the length of the contract. So it's not like you're going to be able to jump on the mine for the next 15 or 20 years like you can in some of the underground mines around the place. So it tends to be a very limited career. And you've also got people that then you move into your jobs that all people describe themselves as fly in fly out workers, as utility workers and that sort of stuff. And that utility workers, those jobs can be full time, but unfortunately they don't pay very much, and it's a bit legendary about how little some of those jobs pay, and there's lots of videos and information about that already. But that's the big difference between a FIFO job and a mining job, is that with the mining job, you know, it's the mine site proper. It's, you know, generally if you're working for one of the contractors working for the owner operator or the owner operator, it's always a full-time work. Sometimes you can labour hire in, but normally the employers only want you on labour hire for 3 months until they work out that you're going to be any good, and then they want to transfer you over because everybody wants to nail down their workforce at the moment. It's not the same on the fly in fly out side of things. So the reason why a lot of people just want to get FIFO jobs is because of what happened in oil and gas back in the day 10 years ago, or good 10 years ago now. Or the oil and gas plants got built. There were 3 big oil and gas plants get built, and people got paid huge amounts of money just to go and do TA work and basic fly in fly out work. Those jobs don't exist anymore. So if you're chasing that sort of stuff down, you know, you're going to need, like I tell people, you're going to need a TARDIS to go back 10, 15 years to pick up a job like that. Unfortunately, I've been talking to a lot of people that have been in the shutdown space lately because the work's dried up a little bit and the wages have fallen substantially because there's an oversupply of people. The employers have got a choice, and whenever they've got a choice, they always screw down the wages. That's the reason why the hard rock underground and surface exploration jobs are paying more, is because they don't have enough people with the skills that want the work. They're all having to hire new starters. None of them want to hire new starters because it costs them a bucket load of money every time they have to hire new starters, and they turn a bunch of people over, but that's what they're forced to do. So that's the difference between a fly in fly out and a mining job, as far as I'm concerned, is that the fly in fly out jobs, you know, while they pay really good money and, you know, lots of people make good money and all that sort of stuff, they tend to be not full time, and yeah, you can take the luck of the draw with that, unfortunately. Whereas with all the mining jobs, you actually work for the company, either as the contracting company that's contracted to the mine as a full-time employee, or you work for the owner-operator full-time. And those are the jobs that you can plug into for the next 5, 10, 15, 20 years. Whereas if you jump on as a shutdown worker, you know, every 2 weeks you've got to find yourself a new job once that shutdown's finished. And that's the big difference. So I hope you found that information helpful, and if you've got any questions about how to get into the industry, please send them through. If you'd like to have a go at getting into the hard rock underground side of things, then check out the sponsors training. Their DIY package is $495. It teaches you everything that the employers want you to know. It's a skill. A lot of people don't realize that knowing how the mine works is a skill. It's an actual skill that the employers need. If you want some help, there's the work ready package that they do. They take Afterpay and Zip. With the work ready, they'll help you. They redo your resume. You get a shift boss to prep you, so they make sure that you know the mining information, and they'll give you a hand to help you come up with a plan of where and how you're going to try and get into the industry. So I hope you found that information helpful, and that's the difference between a FIFO worker and a mining worker as far as I'm concerned. It's only my personal opinion. Please don't go nuts in the comments. But if you've got any other questions that you'd like answered, please send them through, and if you could like and subscribe to the channel. Thanks.